Yo, what's up guys, how's everyone doing? Hope you're all having a fantastic day once again. We are back at the charts. It has been an extremely choppy zone. So if you guys have seen my last video, it's actually very important for the macro sort of look on this market. If you haven't watched that, it's one of my best uploads to date, easily. But today I want to really zoom in and look at the kind of trading strategies we're looking at, guys, because if we actually take our ruler here for the time frames, we have been trading within this range, roughly a 3% range for the majority of this trading for 12 days now, so nearly a fortnight, nearly 14 nights, not the actual video game, so 2 weeks trading in such a tight zone like this, guys. Like, you know, I have been saying that this is not a range I have even considered trading in for the majority of this range, just because it is so dangerous. I mean, most of the patterns we're seeing are not playing out. There is no logic to these patterns right now. It is extremely dangerous, and like I would say, you don't have to look further than the likes of Bitmex wrecked. Now, if we do look at the shorts here, we're not really seeing much of a change with the shorts either. I mean, this is potentially some form of a falling wedge before it does continue on higher. Now, as I always say, we don't really do TA on the shorts anyway, but it is still looking like they have a way up. I'm going to move away from analyzing the shorts a little bit, though, because I've realized I've been assigning a little bit too much importance on shorts, and shorts are not an indicator that deserves so much attention. That will tend to lead to over trading and over analyzing, which is extremely dangerous. Now, if we do look at this trend, I mean, really what we are looking at, perhaps go to the 1 day to make it a little bit more clear. Of course, as you will know, the 1 day for Bitcoin, as I've been saying for a very long time, is the sort of apex of Bitcoin charts. I mean, there is really no better chart than the 1 day for Bitcoin. And really, I mean, this is a very choppy environment right now. We've been trading basically in a bit of a box. The candle, the bodies of these candles, these ones over here staying quite low, but then some bigger candles here. I'm not seeing much significance here. I mean, if we look at the wicks, we're trading basically in this range from 6,150 up to 6,600, maybe a couple, 2 wicks above. But this is looking like a classic continuation pattern to me within this trend, and really it makes a lot of sense. So now that we're up to the fortnight mark, Bitcoin never stays sideways for this long. I do expect a move coming in, you know, now. I mean, anytime. I'm going to be eyeing the UTC, closed daily UTC. So right now it is 8 p.m. UTC. I'll be looking for 4 hours from now. That is around about when East Asia wakes up as well. Korea, China, and the like, maybe a little bit pumpy or dumpy with Bitcoin. And, you know, as I have been saying, I don't know what I dropped there, as I have been saying for a while, we had a very long period of just a straight sell-off. And, you know, I had been calling for some form of a rally, or at the very least consolidation. And, you know, I did mention that it wasn't going to be an easy period of consolidation. Not really on stream, though. That was more in the Telegram posts and PMs that I got. But you know, since we've had so many days of going down, I mean, if we again use our ruler to see, I can't remember, I believe it was like 11 days, 10 days they're going down, just a straight downward trend, with perhaps, you know, if you want to count this to break it up, but it, you know, didn't really do anything. So after we did have such a strong sustained sell-off, a very long period of consolidation like this was definitely on the cards, and so these movements, for those of you who are a little bit surprised by that, perhaps frustrated, I've been looking on crypto Twitter, link in the description to follow me if you guys do want to, you know, and the sentiment there is, I'm so bored, kill me now, let's at least go down to 3,000 or whatever, just don't stay sideways like this. And so when we do see impatience like this, I touched on this earlier as well, when we do see impatience like this, that means we're gearing up for a very big move, whether it is for the down or the upside. And really, I mean, to me, it is looking like we are going to be heading downwards, just because, I mean, if we look at the overall trend, we are in, obviously, an established downtrend. Yes, it is true that we have support in this $6,000 region, but the more times that gets tested, the weaker it actually becomes. And, you know, being in this downtrend, setting a new lower high, I think it is very possible that we just break down from here and end up going much lower, and capitulation is definitely on the cards very soon from where I'm seeing that. So capitulation, for those of you who don't know, is basically where it's sort of like an emotion, a mix between anger and disappointment and depression, where you just throw your hands up and you decide enough is enough, I'm going to sell, and there's a sell-off, perhaps a bit of a buy back. So of course we had capitulation back here. on our way down to $6,000 for the first time. This was very real capitulation. Obviously, this last daily candle being the real capitulation, perhaps if you want to count this one as well, until it turned green. So we could get a V-shaped correction like this upwards. Really, I mean, it's anyone's bet. I think on the whole, though, since we are in a downtrend and since we've negated all of these bullish factors, it does actually look to me like we are just going to break down straight away. Now, there is a possibility, a lot of people starting to talk about the bullish outlooks. I'm not really sure why. Nothing has changed, but I do want to acknowledge the bullish outlooks in that I cannot maneuver around this chart for some reason now. But one of these outlooks is that we are due, there's a lot of, well, as you've seen, there's a lot of shorts. The sentiment in the whole community right now is actually that we are going to go lower on the whole. And so what that tells you typically as a contrarian is that it's actually not going to go down, it's going to go up. And of course, you guys heard me cover that in my analysis of the shorts, saying how when the shorts are very high, there is a good chance that they're actually going to get squeezed and the price is going to go down. So this is something I've been talking about for a very long time, and really what that does mean is you just want to bet against the herd. With most of the community talking about Bitcoin going much lower, it is rare. I believe Alessio said this. It is rare that the majority of the community are going to be right, and especially with something like Bitcoin that likes to wreck people left, right, and center. I think this is even more so. I mean, it's written very clearly from where I'm seeing things. So as for this trend, it really, I mean, what I'm looking for right now is this week, I think at the very latest, we are going to see a break out of this zone. We're either going to break above 7,000 or below 6,000. You could even flip a coin, honestly, to tell which way it's going to go. I know there's going to be a couple comments like, you're just saying it's going to go both ways. And again, those people just don't get it. Just completely wrong mindset. They're probably gamblers. So the questions to be asking right now is what to do when we plan ahead for that. And really, if we do break to the upside, I think that the chances we set a higher high in this case, where instead of topping out something like 8,500, I think if we break $7,000, we'd actually be looking at a level more like $9,000, $10,000 even, perhaps even $11,000 before we do carry on downwards. And the reason for that is it will do very well to liquidate these shorts. It will do a lot of work to build these longs up. A lot of people will get wrecked. Now, another alternative I did mention a couple streams ago, or even last stream, was that I think we're going to see a big pump followed immediately by a big dump, and this could happen all in the space of 8 hours of trading perhaps. And what that would mean is with the big pump, shorts get squeezed, stops get triggered, and then FOMO longs also get squeezed on the way down. And that way everyone is happy with their liquidation emails from Bitmex. As for the downside, I think it's very clear. If we slap on the VPVR indicator, again, I can't maneuver around this chart for some reason, but the VPVR indicator to me is a godsend in this kind of situation, and you're about to see why. I mean, once we drop about support at about 6,000, 5,800, there is no volume support until we get to about 4,400, and this is where there's going to be a lot of amazing trading opportunities. A lot of people are going to get shaken out, guys. Like I said, there's many streams going on. There's two big emotions with humans. It is fear and love, and obviously we can't really do much with love in the trading space, but fear is very much an extremely profitable emotion if you know how to play that. And yes, there is going to be a lot of capitulation. There are going to be a lot of people throwing their hands up in depression, losing their life savings, taking out bloody loans to invest in cryptocurrency, and then realizing they've had a massive loss which has also incurred interest. Those people are going to get completely wrecked. I mean, these longs, hardly any, but the longs that may pile up from a pump, they're also going to get wrecked. There's going to be a lot of people giving up in this range, from 5,800 to about 4,000. But what that does mean is there's going to be so much volatility, and as traders, as people like you and I, of course, if you're watching this stream, chances are you are a trader as well. that is actually going to give us a very nice environment to start trading, and I think it's going to be much better than if we were to go up from here. And the reason for that is there are a lot of situations where we could, form a double top over here, for example. We could set a new higher high and then go down. There are way too many things. It's a little bit too unpredictable if we were to go higher now. But as I always say, it is a little bit hard to predict these things. Now, if we do go over to coin market cap, we're sitting at a market cap of about 213 billion. Nothing has really changed there. Volume of 11.1 billion. So we haven't dipped into the 10 billions yet, but we are teetering on that edge. I mean, this is not healthy volume at all for this kind of a range. We do want to see even double this, but we're not getting it. And that volume will come in when we get some more volatility. Right now, many traders have just decided to take a break from this range, myself included. I mean, this is a range as a range trader, I believe it's called, where you set your sell orders low, you set your buy orders low, and you set your sell orders high, and then you just go to sleep and you just forget about it, because we're trading sideways. We're going to hit the high, we're going to hit the low. I do not like to give those kinds of styles much merit. It does certainly work, but the issue with it is with the unpredictability right now. This kind of a style where you set a low buy order, set a high sell order, and you just go to sleep, that's not really going to work with Bitcoin right now. And the reason for that is it's just so unpredictable. So if we have something a little bit more stable, a little bit more predictable, like gold perhaps, it becomes a lot easier to start trading, with the highs of a range and the lows of a range. But with Bitcoin, if anything, you want to be only shorting the top, only selling the top of the range. And the reason for that is we're still in a downtrend. So if we just look purely at probabilities when we're in a downtrend and we form a continuation pattern, the probability is the continuation pattern is going to lead into a bit of a sell-off again. And so because of that, if you really want to do it, if I really had to do it, I would only short the tops. But again, there are so many situations where Bitcoin really should have just either taken off. I mean, double bottom formation here, but no volume following through with it on the bounce up. So many mixed signals. Volume is no longer a reliable indicator. The EMA is really VPVR, maybe Ichi clouds. That's all we've got left. And we are really closing in on this daily EMA. So I think one of the things that could happen is perhaps over the next 2-3 days, this EMA ribbon continues to come down. Our candles maybe continue to range up a little bit. We meet, and then the next candle, it gets smashed down. I think that's very likely. Like I said, I do not believe we're going to be in this range for much longer. I mean, 2-3 days maybe at the latest. If we're here by the end of this week, I will be extremely surprised. 3 weeks going sideways for Bitcoin is a new thing. I would not expect it at all. So we will continue to see how this does play out. If we look again at the alt market, Bitcoin dominance recovering back up to that 53% level now at 52, making back some of those market cap losses. As you can see, these alts, Bitcoin Cash, EOS, Ripple, Neo down 4%. So we've got a little bit of blood in the alt market right now. Bitcoin just holding completely steady. So the alts had a bit of a rally. Bitcoin went sideways or whatever. It really didn't do anything. And so there were a lot of I even put out a massive post in Telegram, link in the description. I put out a massive post for why I'm not even thinking about alts at the moment. There's no way to say this without sounding like a bit of a bitch, but I did tell you so. The people who doubted that, I did say it before, and I've been saying it for many weeks, and that alts, from where I'm seeing things, are a lost cause. I mean, if Bitcoin really is going to drop support, alts are going to get completely smashed. I mean, it's going to be very rough for alts. So as I said, I sold all of mine many months ago. And I haven't looked back. I sold them still either break even or green, because like I said, I was here since 2017, and I was happy with that. That's good. And the losses in the alt market have eclipsed Bitcoin's losses many times over. I mean, it's completely just a savage market there. But yeah, I mean, with that, I wish there was more to report on. Right now, what I'm seeing is a continuation pattern. but there is a lot of unpredictability, so I'm not even going to trade it at the moment. Of course, that may change. If it does, I'm going to post it in the Telegram channel for my VIPs. If you are interested in VIP, you get all of my trades, you get all of my technical analysis, you can talk to me directly and different things like that. So definitely hit me up. The link to join Gold is in the description, and if you want to get into VIP, just click on my name at the bottom of posts in Crypto Mafia Gold, the Telegram channel. Click on my name there, message me, and I will get you in. But guys, with that, if you have enjoyed this video, if you've learned something from it, anything like that, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, tick the bell, and yeah, with that, I'm going to be signing off. I'm out. Peace.